So according to feedingtexas.org, 17.8% of Travis County's population, that percentage amounting to nearly 250,000 individuals, live in food insecure homes. Now to put that into some perspective, 1 in 6 Travis County residents are at risk of hunger. Good afternoon. My name is Justin Tanwy, and I am a volunteer coordinator representing the Capital Area Food Bank of Austin. I'd like to thank you all today for joining me to discuss food insecurity, more specifically food insecurity in Central Texas, and as well as how you as local residents can volunteer and help us at the Austin Food Bank achieve our mission of creating a hunger-free community. Now, I'm sure that you are all familiar with the general idea of what we do at a food bank, but by the end of the presentation, I will have better explained what food insecurity is as far as how it's defined and how we've come to approach this issue. I will also be going over the programs that we currently have in place, and lastly, I will discuss how you can volunteer and make an impact in this community. But before we get started, do please take this moment to silence your cell phones and be sure to hold all your questions until the end of the presentation. So to start off, the United States Department of Agriculture defines food insecurity through indicators that cause any changes in both the quantity and quality of a household's diet. And the severity of this issue sort of lies on a spectrum, but the general idea is that, for example, should you have no indications of any limitations to what food you're buying, you'd be considered food secure. And should you have indicators that cause you to have change in the amount of food you're buying, or just the access you have to food, usually caused by income and the lack thereof, you'd be considered food insecure. That being said, Central Texas, being one of the fastest growing regions, has sort of become susceptible to this particular issue in the sense that it's becoming much more prominent, and that's where we at the Capital Area Food Bank come in and create this access to good and healthy food in every community. And as the largest hunger relief organization, we fully embrace this sort of responsibility in alleviating hunger. And we do so by through our programs. So if you could direct your attention to the programs section, we have our food rescue program, which collects food from local and national grocery store chains, manufacturers, distributors, and even farms. And what we do with that is we redistribute that to low-income families. With our HOPE program, we make monthly distributions to our senior citizens. And then with the Kids Cafe, Summer Food Service Program, and Backpack Program, these are all directed towards children, which make up a third of those in need of food. And this is for them during times like during after-school programs or during the weekends, and then also during the summers where they usually lack a dependable source of nutrition. And then lastly, we have our disaster relief program, which is in place and always ready to respond during anything that happens unexpectedly. And if you're interested in finding out about any other programs that we may have, it's all on our website at capitalareafoodbank.org. Now that you have a better understanding of what we do, I'd like to now talk to you about how you as volunteers can help. The process of signing up itself is fairly easy and very quick, and we have a number of shifts and different locations that you can volunteer at. And some of the volunteer options that you can do is you could sort through donations. You could also coordinate food drives and serve clients. You can even teach classes about nutrition to individuals. And then lastly, if you're qualified to do so, you can even serve as an ambassador at special events. For me personally, my first experience is what stuck with me the most. I first started out sorting through donations, and at first it felt like I wasn't really contributing much to the cause that I was really interested in. But then towards the end of the shift, when I found out that me and just a few other people were able to pack 2,000 meals within just a few hours, it helped me realize how easy it is I can make an impact in my community. And I'm sure with any of these other volunteer options, you could find a similar experience and reach out to even more people. Now, should you not have time to volunteer, we also accept donations. And this is a surprising statistic, even for me, is that as little as $1 would provide 4 meals for one individual. And so whatever donations you happen to make, we gladly and thankfully accept. So to summarize everything I went over, I talked about the issue of food insecurity and how we've, at the Capital Area Food Bank, have addressed this issue. I went over the different programs that we have implemented thus far. And most importantly, I talked about how you can help. Before you leave today, I just want you to know that I understand that you're all very giving people, otherwise you wouldn't be here in the first place. And I also understand that as very generous people, you can only give so much of your time, but all that we ask is that you donate whatever time and effort you can spare, and at the very least advocate for this vision that we have in creating a community where families, especially those with low incomes, can afford and have access to healthy food.